Well, that's more like it. That's what we expect from the Lakers every single time they play basketball. LeBron James, sensational, pouring in 30 points. Russell Westbrook, incredible. 24 points, 11 assists as the Energizer Bunny. Anthony Davis brought his A game, which shouldn't be optional, but sadly, it is. When the big three play like this, the Lakers are the Lakers. And that means the Lakers are in the same category as the Warriors and the Suns for the best teams in the West. Now, please understand, I'm not ranking the Lakers ahead of those teams after beating the rival Celtics, and LeBron historically always owns Boston, as you see on the screen. But this was exactly what I expected when I picked the Lakers preseason to win a title. And Anthony Davis has no excuse. He needs to play with this kind of effort and energy every single night. I know it's in vogue to rip Russ, and the low moments have been zany this year for Westbrook, like the OKC game, but, sorry haters. There has been more good than bad. Honestly, there's been more great than bad for Westbrook as a Laker. But Russ, at the end of the day, never receives the proper credit. And here's the goal, and most especially the expectation. You see the upcoming games? Win, 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 win. Win them all. Keep the line moving. Let's go. Keep playing at this level. I'm not going to over-evaluate the genius of the Lakers against a subpar Celtics team, but I am going to demand that this is the only standard for LeBron and the Lakers this season, and last night will prove to be the norm. Aaron Rodgers isn't very concerned about his toe injury. In a related story, neither am I. Rodgers painted a pretty rosy picture he can play through it when he was on the Pat McAfee show on Mad Dog Sports Radio. And with the Packers hosting the rival Chicago Bears in primetime after a bye week for Rodgers to heal up, Rodgers is going to do what he always does and dominate and own the Chicago Bears. And the nuggets of domination, you see it on the screen, just awesome, just incredible. And this is why Aaron Rodgers screamed, "I own you, I still own you," last time they played. And Rodgers and the Packers smell blood. They're going to be up for the Bears, despite the fact that Chicago is terrible because it's a legendary rivalry game, and Green Bay wants that one seed. And when you look at the schedule, remember that they own the head-to-head tiebreaker with the Arizona Cardinals. I believe Green Bay will get it, and they're going to get their dudes back, too. This is kind of a big deal. Jair Alexander returned to practice today, albeit in a limited capacity, for the first time since week 4. Green Bay is getting healthy at just the right time. Plus, in a primetime window, this feels like the perfect moment for Aaron Rodgers to stake a claim as the leader in the clubhouse for NFL MVP by putting up gaudy statistics. I think the Packers will end up getting the 1 seed. I think when that happens, Rodgers clearly becomes a leader for NFL MVP. And I think this time around, with the Green Bay defense and power run game, home field will matter at Lambeau this postseason. It feels like everything is coming up Rodgers and Green Bay. The last thing Cam Hayward and the Steelers want is to look like a bunch of idiots on national TV tomorrow night. Pittsburgh's defense, fantastic on Sunday against Baltimore, and honestly, to Hayward's point, there's no excuse for it not to carry over on Thursday night, even on a short week in Minnesota. They have the Minnesota Vikings at the right time. Adam Thielen officially declared out. Dalvin Cook listed as questionable with a shoulder injury, and Hayward has played at a first-team All-Pro level once again. T.J. Watt dominant and breathtaking against the Baltimore Ravens. T.J. Watt, how about it? Sacked Lamar 3.5 times, and he also busted up the game's final play by pressuring Lamar in what would have been a game-winning 2-point conversion. And it's all there against Kirk Cousins. My God, this is ugly. Hide your eyes. It's Kirk Cousins in primetime. 8-17. 8-17. Sun goes down and Kirk Cousins turns back into a pumpkin. It's all there for Pittsburgh. I don't view the Steelers as a playoff team. I don't view T.J. Watt as an MVP candidate, albeit he, of course, is right now the leader in the clubhouse for the Defensive Player of the Year. So go out and prove me wrong. We have a whiteboard and we're going to use it. If only the headsets were working. Would it have even made a difference for the Bears on Sunday? They dropped to 4-8 on the season. So yeah, blame the headsets. Matt Nagy's season has been a clown show. An absolute clown show. And I'm going to show you exactly what kind of clown show this has been, okay? I am going to draw a picture of Matt Nagy, okay? We'll get the clown hair right there. We'll give him a stone cold look because he never smiles. We'll give him a red nose. And in case you're confused who that is, a clown show, that is Matt Nagy. His coaching as beautiful as my handwriting. That's basically to scale, right? This is how Matt Nagy looks on Sundays when he coaches the Chicago Bears. Bears are going to be in prime time? I mean, what are you trying to hurt us? Get Matt Nagy and the Chicago Bears off my TV. I mean, when they lose 45-3 in a rivalry game, his key card shouldn't work on Monday. And, you know, the Bears fans, they deserve better. 4-8. Look at the points per game. How about Andy Dalton? He was atrocious over the weekend. I mean, forget about QB1. Remember they tweeted out that picture? This is QB0. I mean, interceptions galore. Four interceptions. Matt Nagy's terrible. There is good news. Justin Fields has officially been cleared and he's going to start, and thank goodness for that. Though there is an element where I feel terrible for Justin Fields because obviously he is wretched coaching. I still think Fields is going to be great. I still think it's still coaching in Chicago. It's an unbelievable city, incredible fan base. It's still a top 3 market in the country. Coaching the Chicago Bears is a big deal. This should be a coveted job, so it'll end up being tears of a clown once Matt Nagy loses his job, and rightly so. Clown show. Staying in the NFC. Cowboys versus Washington in a huge divisional matchup on Sunday. So, Dak Prescott will be blank versus Washington. He will be absolutely piping hot. I think Dak Prescott is going to light up the old football team. And it was interesting, Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas, and he basically lit into his receivers for not running the right routes as to why maybe it wasn't aesthetically or statistically pleasing for Prescott in the game against the New Orleans Saints on Thursday. I mean, look at what he does. 7-1 against Washington. And look at that touchdown to interception ratio. And I know Washington has played much better, and they deserve a lot of credit for that. And, you know, some people are trying to sell it like, you know, they're still alive when it comes to the division. And I guess they are. Remember, the Dallas Cowboys and Washington are going to play 2 times here. 2 times over the next 3 weeks. And I think Prescott, CD Lamb, Michael Gallup, Cooper, who's going to have his footing underneath him after coming back last week after COVID. I think that Pollard and Zeke, these guys are going to dominate. This feels like one of those 350-yard, 3 or 4 touchdown game from our guy Dak Prescott. Piping hot. To the NBA, where the Nets got a big-time win over the Mavericks last night. So Brooklyn's comeback was, it was awesome. It was absolutely, positively awesome. I watched this entire game. When they were down 17, I didn't think Brooklyn had a chance of coming back, so shame on me. First half, Brooklyn looked dreadful. James Harden was on fire in that third quarter. Kevin Durant was unstoppable in the fourth. Look, Kyrie doesn't give a damn about basketball, okay? We're never going to see Kyrie Irving. And even if he ended up getting the vaccine or wanting to play, I would just tell him to take a hike. You can't trust him. The Brooklyn Nets are going to win the Eastern Conference when Kyrie doesn't even play a minute. And by the way, the Bucks, they've got everyone back, the defending champs, obviously with Giannis and company, they're for real. Chicago is for real too, but I don't think they're like winning a championship for real. On the flip side of the awesome comeback, Luka Doncic, I mean, my guy looks roly-poly. Reggie Miller was killing him for not being in shape during the game. You could see it in his face. You could see it in his arms. I mean, Luka, let's go. Hit the Peloton. Mix in a salad. I mean, by his own admission, he said he's out of shape. You know, you check out the old media guide, and he's listed at 230. I mean, ESPN reported he's over 260 pounds. So that was awesome from a Brooklyn standpoint. I guess no surprise they were able to come back because my guy, Luka, he was dreaming about the post-game spread. He was thinking about ice cream after dark. That is a mess for the Dallas Mavericks. Major League Baseball news. My guy Buck Showalter reportedly interviewing for the Mets open managerial position. So Showalter as the Mets manager would be perfection. Absolute perfection. There's a no there. Perfection. Yo, Steve Cohen, get it done. The list of managers for Buck Showalter, the list of managers for the Mets should be one. His name is Buck Showalter. There's one guy, one of one. Here's how the interview should go today. Buck, yes. Do you want the job? Yes. You're hired. I mean, what he did, Yankees fans, Diamondbacks fans, Rangers fans, Orioles fans will all tell you he set a tone, toughness, culture. As a Yankee fan, I mean, obviously they ended up winning with Joe Torre. I was crestfallen when they fired him. He set the tone and tempo for those Torre years. And by the way, that's not a knock. Well, you know, Texas was great after. Arizona with Bob Brenly won after. No, this is exactly what the Mets need. Max Scherzer wants him. Go talk to Adam Jones, the former Oriole. He was obsessed with Buck Showalter. Old school cat. Loves analytics. Billy Epler, the new GM, wanted to hire him in Anaheim, but the owner said no. This would be absolute perfection. Buck Showalter must be the next manager of the Mets. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.